We back. Democrats at it again. Yo, the Democrats, they really have real control over the media because I don't know why this is not a big enough story. Like, it's really found a dead body at Ayanna Presley's, one of their home. Ayanna Presley's husband's one of their rental homes. And I don't understand why this is not bigger news than it is. And this is why I don't trust the Democrats, because there's so much dirt from the Democrats that people just want to overlook. Like, please bring the dirt that the Republicans are doing. Bring that dirt. Because I know I can do 2 hours of straight dirt corruption with these Democratic politicians. And it's like, where's the big news? Why they literally covering this up, and they don't even have full news clips. But we gonna see. We gonna find out the details. We gonna try to get into this. You know, I'm gonna probably try to find more clips because I really want to know. First, it was they just found the body. Now they identified the body. So let's get through this.
Friends and family are identifying an 8-year-old woman found dead from a gunshot wound in a Mattapan home. The home is owned by the husband of Congresswoman Ayanna Presley. Boston 25 News reporter Kelly Sullivan on scene in Mattapan with the questions investigators are still trying to get answered this morning.
Homicide investigators were here all weekend, and the candles, they are still burning from last night's vigil. Now, police are not releasing a lot of details at this time, but we do know this two-family home was owned by Conan Harris, the husband of Congresswoman Ayanna Presley. Police responded to 25 Malta Street in Mattapan Saturday to find a woman who was pronounced dead on scene. Property records show this is a two-family home with the current owner listed as Conan Harris. Harris and his wife don't live here but offer their condolences over the weekend. A spokesperson for Congresswoman Presley's office says neither Presley nor her family were involved in the incident, and Presley offers her deepest condolences to the family.
Yes, that's what anybody would say. Like, oh, we wasn't involved, y'all involved. Why is it an 18-year-old? Yo, this is my opinion. Your husband was purchasing from this young little girl, and she was going to blackmail him, and he got rid of her. And before he could get rid of the body was found. That's how I feel. But they running through this, like they're really just running through this.
Impacted. We talked to neighbors who were surprised to see this unfold on their street.
We got home and there were police coming down the street. They'd blocked off like crime tape over there, and neighbors gathered around. Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. This neighborhood is a wonderful place to be.
Family and friends held a vigil last night for the victim. They say she was just 18 years old. Police have not released the victim's name. We do know this house is currently listed for sale. Again, all of this still remains under investigation. Reporting in Mattapan, Kelly Sullivan for your local station, Boston 25.
See how fast they ended that? Look, that's how fast they ended that. But we won't get back into it. Let's see. Let's see what we can find. Look, 1 minute. No full coverage. That's what I don't like.
Boston police are investigating the discovery of a body at a Mattapan property owned by the husband of Congresswoman Ayanna Presley. Good evening to you. I'm Ken McLeod. The identity of the victim and the circumstances surrounding this are still a mystery tonight. WBZ's Logan Hall spent his evening in Mattapan. We don't know her name.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions about this incident, but neighbors that we talked to on Malta Street tell us that there has been an increased law enforcement presence up and down this block.
For sure.
Boston police are investigating a dead body that was found at a property owned by the husband of Congresswoman Ayanna Presley. A spokesperson for the Boston Police Department tells WBZ News that the homicide unit is handling the investigation. Red crime scene tape sealed off the home on Malta Street, and a Boston police officer was seen posted at the property. According to records from the city of Boston, Presley's husband, Conan Harris, is listed as the owner of the home. A WBZ source says Presley and Harris do not live at the home. It's a rental property that is currently for sale. The asking price for the home is $1.15 million. In a statement to WBZ News, a spokesperson said, quote, "The Congresswoman extends her deepest condolences to the impacted family." WBZ has reached out to the real estate agent handling this listing, but she has not responded for comment. Reporting in Mattapan, I'm Logan Hall, WBZ News.
She know exactly what's going on.
Well, Democratic Socialists
Fuck it. Let's just get right into it.
is taking aim at New York City landlords and their profits. Martha McCallum pressed the co-chair of the DSA's New York chapter about the attacks. Here it is.
Landlords in New York have been making a
Bozo.
12% return on their investment for...
Who cares, yo? Why can't people make profit in this country no more? He's saying it like it's a crime, a 12% profit. Why is it not more? This dude just came from a socialist. He ran from his country because of socialism. Now he's talking about socialism in America. Why would you run from your country if you love socialism? Go back to your country and live under socialism. Why are you trying to put socialism on us when you ran from it? These people don't be making no sense. He's a bozo.
On
How
average,
much should they make? What's fair for the landlord to make if you don't like 12?
they're complaining that 12 is not enough. And we don't think that...
That's what I said. Why is it not enough? Why are they only making 12? Like, if New York City is expensive for the tenants, then it has to be expensive for the landlords to maintain property for the ones that do. And then the ones that don't, okay, it's laws in place like that, but just because they're making 12%, like, this is a capitalistic country. Like, why they can't make more than 12%? Bozo.
anyone should have a constitutional right to double-digit returns on their investment. That's why we've implemented...
No one should have a right to a double-digit return on their investment.
No one has a right. That's not... No,
what are you talking
no
about?
one's in that. That's not in the Constitution, but what we see is that when we implement...
Bozo, you heard what she said? What are you talking about? Why? It's not in the Constitution to make double digits. So what are you... He's an idiot.
implemented rent freeze, we have landlords who are crying that the government is going to put them out of business.
Well, I heard that and said I want to talk to some landlords. So let's bring in Jose Tour and Natalia Bonanno, New York City landlords, and it's so good to have you here. Let me just...
Look at them. Get y'all money. Go get that money, man. Y'all bought them buildings. Y'all put y'all names on it. Y'all got y'all credit right. That's right. Go live the real American dream. Don't worry about these Looney Tunes. Talking about, oh my God, there's a rent freeze. Where people going to live? Why? No, you have no right. Bringing up the Constitution, talking about you don't have the right to make double digits. It's not in the Constitution that you can live for free.
Kick it over to you, Natalia, because when you saw that and heard that, what was your first thought?
I mean, I don't know where they're getting 12% from. I know, a lot of people refer to the NOI figure that came out recently, and
What's
that
NOI?
Net operating income.
Okay.
That doesn't take into account our mortgage and insurance. Our
So he's
taxes
just
that we
getting
have
it
to pay.
wrong on the number. We
Right.
have a number here that said the average profit for New York City landlords in rent stabilized units is $688 per month, and that's up 6.2% from 23 to 24. That doesn't include your costs, right, Jose?
No, not at all. And he's not speaking for rent stabilized properties, which is the properties that we own, which are severely distressed because our costs are so high and rents typically are way below the average of the market rents.
And when you say they're distressed, Natalia, does that mean you have to do a lot of repairs?
Yes, and rent stabilized apartments that are rent stabilized because they're built before 1974 have a much lower increase and much lower rents, and they typically need the most work. Most of our buildings were built at the turn of the century, early 1900s.
They seem to want to villainize you, and you are the ones providing the housing.
That's what I said. Like, why is it a crime to own a building to give, like, yo, you got to pay rent, B? Like, what's the problem? If you can't pay rent, man, you got to go. All this people thinking they can live for free and no, and don't want to work. They don't want to work, but they want to live for free. It don't make no sense to me. I don't care. It don't make no sense. Stop. Get the iPad and the phones out of the kids' hands. Send them to school so they could get an education and a job and work for a living, and they can afford rent. That's what's wrong with the generation now. They dumb their mind down because they can't get off their phones. They can't get off their iPads. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to comprehend. You can't make other people coddle you. These kids have been coddled. Now they want the world to coddle to them. No, you missed the mark. You should have went to school. You should have learned. You should have went hard. You can't make it easy for the people that don't want to do nothing, and then hard for the people that are willing to work, willing to save their money, willing to have investments, and willing to put the work in. That's what they're doing. Or if you work hard, you're going to suffer. But if you lazy, then you're going to get an easy ride. No.
But you have a long history of being here. I think that they don't understand who the landlords are. Like, they think that it's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Tell me about your story.
Yeah, so it all started with my grandfather. He immigrated from Cuba in the 70s, bought his first building when he was 50 years old in 1979 with seller financing, because at that time the banks wouldn't want to finance. Things were very tough here in the city. The Bronx was burning, as they would say. And he built the business by himself over the course of 10, 15 years, working as much as he can until he got enough money to pay off the buildings and find a helper. And sadly for him, it ended last year where he was mugged at gunpoint by a tenant and had a stroke and died 2 weeks later at 99 years old. I mean, here you have this Cuban immigrant that got to this country, worked as hard as he could, at 50 years old up till 99, and it's how it ended for him. And it was a tenant that didn't pay rent for 5 years. It shows how flawed the system is in its entirety and how inefficient everything is here.
It's a tragic story. And yours is?
Yeah, my father came here as an immigrant as well. When he was a teenager, was the first college graduate of his family, got a master's in engineering, and after a few years working as an engineer, he wanted to, become an entrepreneur and own his own business and own property. So he started to invest also in the 70s in buying properties in Brooklyn and then pass them down to my sister and I.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to continue doing this work?
I do. I think it's the right thing to do on behalf of my family and what my grandfather built, and also on behalf of the tenants. These are people that we've known for several years. It's not like we're a huge company that's not present. Like, we're boots on the ground. We're there. We know everyone there, and we think it's the right thing to do to represent our stake.
Last word to you, Natalia, excuse me.
That's okay. Yeah, we're selling most of our rent-stabilized buildings because we just don't see a future here for having profit. We hope we could stay in New York City and maybe invest in non-rent stabilized properties, but if not, we'll have to just sell and purchase properties in other states.
Well, we'll see if they're listening at the mayor's office. Thank you so much, and we appreciate. And I'm sorry about what happened to your grandfather.
Thank you,
Bill.
It was BS, man. They got to sell. The people, their parents went hard and put property up so they can get it when they pass away. And now these greedy people talking about, I don't want to pay rent, and we need to get the mayor to make sure we don't have to pay rent, freeze the rent. It's disgusting. But, it's TommyG TV, still putting this work. I'm back at it. It's a lot going on. Everybody protect your mental health. Do as much as you can for your family. Work hard. Be polite. Be patient. Be respectful. TommyG, I'm out.